Thanks for coming. Let's get rolling. Next slide, please. Okay, there's our agenda. We try to keep it under 60 minutes. Let's see how we do. I'm checking the clock.
I think
next slide.
somebody's microphone is not muted because it's an echo
problem
on your end.
I don't know if I'm positioning this camera.
I think it's Taylor.
I looked at the back of my head this whole time. All right, my usual spiel about what the PTA is. We are here to foster community that includes diversity, equity, and inclusion, fund the programs for our kids, and inform and support parents, teachers, staff, everybody in our community. Our budget this year, we're looking to make about $263,000, spend about $252,000 to fund all of the enrichment programs and support that our kids need. Next, please. Elected board. These are the elected positions and board members. We're going to talk about elections in a little bit because, yeah, we have to start planning already for 2025, 26, if you can imagine. We also have committees, and I'm going to use air quotes when I say committees. Think of them as squads, teams, groups, anybody interested and willing to do work. Committee just takes one person, but it'd be great if there were more. Currently, this is what we're working with. You can see some of the highlighted ones are stuff that are active right now. I didn't highlight Performing Arts Committee. I should have. They are ramping up for sure. Next, please. Upcoming calendar of events. You can subscribe to the calendar on our website. This is through the end of March. Next. How to get something done? We have to talk it out. We are a community. We want to hear your voices. And yes, we can't just unilaterally go and do something. Besides talking, we need you to roll up your sleeves and help us do the thing. And most things can be done pretty quickly. If you got a big idea, then sure, it's going to take longer. If anything touches money, then yes, we have to vote on it. Yeah. But we try to be snappy. Election ramp up. This is Amanda, my wife.
So we have elections for the next board coming up soon. It's supposed to be 2-year terms for all of our positions. So many of our people are finishing up their second term right now. But, you can challenge anyone if we happen to get that many people who really want to run for something. These are the roles that are coming up. And we're thinking about doing a potential new board positions because a lot of these roles are bigger than really one person can do. So for something like development, we would have a deputy of development, or community, a deputy. Communications, you see how many communications come out? It's a lot. So a deputy for communications. That's something we'd like to add for next year to help sort of organize getting that work done. So we need a nomination committee. That means people who can run the elections, but also people who can sort of search around the school and try to invite more people into this leadership. We would like the leadership to represent the kinds of people we have in this school. So people from dual language, people from general ed, people with kids who have IEPs, we want to represent as much as we can. So if you'd like to join me, please, nominations at ps133brooklyn.org. I would love to have a little committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. I'm going to go ahead and motion that we approve the minutes that Michael is so great about putting together. Thank you. All in favor of approving? Anybody actually opposed to this? Great. All right, done. Next slide. Comms. All right.
Comms is doing great. We're trying to limit ourselves to 40,000 notifications that we send you every day. There's a lot coming up. It's hard to do it well and not overwhelm people. These are the initiatives. Readathon, we're in the thick of it. You saw the great kids videos reading on the board. They love seeing that. We're going to start ramping up for the spring auction very soon. World Culture Night, Black History Month. I still need, if you're a Canva, if you know your way around Canva, I want you on comms. And I've got Robert Rodney, who is essentially the deputy of comms if we had instituted that last year. But we're looking for, and he knows more about Parent Square than I do, but we're looking for the next Parent Square guru. And I would also love to push the gathering of the articles in PTA Week, the newsletter, to someone else, someone editing that. So if that's you, come find me. Look for these amazing Black History Month slides that you're going to start seeing on the display in the lobby, curated by Layla and Edward Chin. And can I have the next slide, please? The next committee that needs you is the Spring Auction Committee. Can you drop that? Oh, you already did. All right. So good. All right. So join the Spring Auction Committee. Spring Auction Committee, remember, you might have random people just showing up in your WhatsApp group going, how can I help? Next slide, please. We like to do a volunteer spotlight, somebody who stepped up, threw themselves in, and this month it is Beth Tully, who would be here, but I know she's watching online because she just had her first radiation ceremony. You know what? You would appreciate a radiation ceremony. And that's why you're not here, but you and your big, beautiful bald head and your huge, I think you chew 2 packs of gum when I have you make videos, and I appreciate the way that you have stepped up. And if helping out the PTA is part of your healing, then we'll take it. We'll take it. I think I'm done, but go to the next slide. Sometimes a bake sale is just a gateway to a committee. That's how we operate here. That's how I got Erica, our new manager of the Zoom call. Next slide, and I think I'm done. There we are. Please welcome to the stage, Principal Fosterman. You want me to clip this to you? Let me, okay, not too.
Good morning, everyone. Hello there on Zoom. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see you in person. I feel like I haven't been to a PTA meeting in a while, right? Yeah, none of us have. So really quickly, there have been lots of talk and concerns around whether or not what we do here at 133, our diversity, our inclusivity, the love that we share, will that change if that person in office continues to go on? No, it will not. All right? No. We've come too far. We're not going back in time. We love what we have here. And that's the reason you're here. That's the reason I'm here, right? And so we're going to continue to show love everybody the way they show up. If someone comes knocking at my door, you know I don't release my kids to anybody. Even their parents. What time, who? No, right? So no one gets past school safety. No one gets past school safety to see my kids. No one. All right? And I have no problem being carted away because I'm standing up for children. That's the one thing I will stand up for. Okay? No one.
Ask the police to wait so that I can
Just, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a 70s child, no one, and I mean it. All right? So I just wanted to let you know that you're hearing it from me, that our children are safe. They will continue to be safe. We're a family. It takes a village. And we're just going to keep throwing love and showing love the way that we do at 133. All right? Yes.
One back, please. No problem. I get my arrows confused also. One more. Oh, sorry. You're right. Okay. See, I did just then. Community call out. So Amanda touched on it. We want to see our diverse faces represented in the PTA. That means, yeah, what program are our kids in? Do our kids, need IEPs or not? Languages, color of our skin, race. Let's talk about this. I don't see enough Black faces in our PTA meetings. And I know that we have a bigger community of Black families in our school. And I get it that some folks have extra time and some don't. But any time you got just to hear your voice and work with you on something, that's what we want. And when I became president two years ago, I didn't know what the PTA was doing at the time. So A, you don't have to be experienced because I just jumped in the deep end. But also B, I thought it was going to be, oh, that must be the dual language folks are the minority, and they're not being represented. But that's actually not the case on the PTA board. There's lots of dual language. We have Hispanics, we have French native speakers, we have some Asians. So yeah, please step up. If you feel like the PTA is not representing your voice, be that voice. And we will absolutely, the community will make space for that voice to be heard. All right. Know your rights. So very organically, I have no idea what prompted this. There is now sort of a civil rights and liberties squad, I'll call it. So there's a WhatsApp group. You can jump in. It's on the left side, where we're chatting about just finding resources essentially, and figuring out like what's helpful to communicate. And on the right side here is a web page that we started with some of those resources. So if you are interested or vested in such things, please reach out. You can reach out to me at my email, PTA president, or that WhatsApp code there. Great. Next slide. Community. Let's go. Let's keep going with the community.
Thanks, Joel. Are we going to get sick of hearing the word community being said over and over again? Never, never, right? So this is just, if this is your very first PTA meeting or this is something that is new to you, I know we have a new family right over here. The community, the community committee are responsible for kind of these 4 things. Fun events meaning the events that the parents and the families want to see, right? We're not going to throw something and then that no one wants. We want to hear from you to know what would be good and accessible for your families. Language and culture, making sure that we are constantly being inclusive around language and culture because we have such a broad and diverse number of people from many different cultures and languages in our community. Student recruitment, we are coming to the end of our tour and recruitment season, but I want to have a big shout out to all of my touring dads. We've had a whole cohort of touring dads who have shown off the school throughout this tour season, and then we've put together a dual language fair in Brooklyn to try and make it more local so that people have more access to information about our dual language programs close to home. And then learning diversity, which Charisma will talk about in a minute. Next slide, please. I tried to do something fun with Canva, just, change it up. Might have spent a bit too long figuring it out. But
Good. That's pretty good.
I'll have this flashing around behind me while we talk. But I know that so many people are feeling lots of feels right now and trying to figure out in the regular cog turning way that their life is going, how do I find community? What do I do in order to find community? And I've been thinking and philosophizing a lot on it. Just trying to understand how do we find community, especially in a place like New York, where some of us are from here, some of us are not from here, some of us are near to family, some of us are far from family. Sometimes we don't feel connected to the people that we work with. Sometimes we might not feel connected to the people that we share a school building with, right? But we want to change that and find community for everyone. Next slide, please. This is too flashy. I'm gonna start shaking up. So I want to just kind of post up some of the resources that I've been looking at that feel important to me. A lot of those are coming through the District 13 thing, but this is, Neurodiversity Celebration Week is something that's happening in March that Charisma, Diana, and I are working on to try and boost some visibility on. This was a Know Your Rights training session. This is the poster that I've put around on tables, but this is something, wait, before you keep on clicking. This FIRE workshop, I think they call it FIRE, right? FIRE. We have about 2 PS 133 members who have signed up to this. Oh my God, Miss Alexandra, I just saw your outfit and all right, well, you'll get that in a minute. Incredible. All right, we need a twirl. We need a twirl. Incredible. If you are thinking that you want to lean into, you want to do more as an anti-racist, you want to do more to build equity in your community, this is something where we want to try and find a nice cohort from every single school. Then being able to speak to other people in other schools, being able to speak to district leaders, having a through line to have your voice heard or to listen to others is going to be really important in this time. So this is something that I really encourage people, if they're feeling motivated, to sign up for. Yes, that's right. Starting March 5th, they're going to be held right here. So convenient, right? Okay. Dinner and childcare provided on in-person days. You don't even have to worry about, oh, what do I do in the evenings? This is a really rough time for me. I went to the District 13 Anti-Racist Town Hall last night. An amazing dinner was put on. A wealth of delicious food was put on. Childcare was provided that I did not use. And then we were all broken off into breakout rooms, literal breakout rooms. Like we all went into different rooms and had really healthy and strong discussions about our feelings in our different cohorts. It was beautiful. And it was a way of investing into community and also listening to our community. All right, next slide, I'll keep going. This is, there is a Rainbow Kids WhatsApp group, and Lily can talk more about it, but we are putting up things. If you are interested in investing more time into LGBTQIA and trans youth especially, there's things happening everywhere. Next pop up. This is the District 13 letter from Megan Dunn, our superintendent, just talking about not only our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, but also the specific things that have been done across the district. And I went to the Chancellor's meeting at the end of the month. Layla and I went to the Chancellor's meeting, and we got to hear her speak directly to the Chancellor about what District 13 is doing to maintain these things. And when you think about the kind of chain of command, right, you've got our district superintendent, you've got the school's chancellor, then you've got the mayor, maybe, right, and some governors, and then it goes straight up to the executive branch, right? And so these are only a few steps away from actually being able to hear you about what you're concerned about in education. And I think there's one more pop up. No, oh yeah. And if it all feels too heavy, just go and see some beautiful art. Just go and see some beautiful art created by children in our community. That will bring you into a community. If art is your thing, if creativity is your thing, there's so much that can be done through creative arts. So yeah, these are just examples of things that we promote and that can be invested in. I have a video here. I want to see if it plays down. Yeah. It's 1 minute. Click it again. All right. No, it's all right. We'll send it out when you see the slides. But this is a video that District 13 created, just talking about our neighborhoods and what we can do in our neighborhoods and how we can all support each other. I really feel comforted by both Heather's statements and our district superintendent's statements about how committed everyone is to making sure that everyone is safe and seen and heard. All right, next. Charisma. Sorry, Lewis, did you have anything you want to say?
Well, that was a lot. I think you all agree, So one of the things that we've been focused on and we're wrapping up is recruitment season. But what we're going to do now is going to shift gears, and we're going to start focusing on volunteer season. Yeah. So one of the things that we're doing in community is really kind of like setting up the runway for volunteers for the events this year and volunteering in the future. So you want to really get parents to donate their minutes. We're thinking about ways to, keep our parent community engaged, both the existing community and the incoming community, because all of this fun stuff that you guys enjoy takes a lot of work, right? And we can't do that work without you. So if you're in the PTA, as our communications commissioner loves to say, if you have a complaint, you're a volunteer.
about volunteers. The wonderful Pastor John from the Apostles Church that used the space on Sundays has also offered to, amongst his congregation, to offer volunteer work. So we thank you so much for stepping in and investing in our community. And they want to help for many events, but especially World Culture Night, because I know there's lots of parents who are volunteering, but also want to see their kid dancing and also want to do some face painting and do all the wonderful things. And so yeah, his volunteers are going to help with cleanup, help with switching out, and this is the kind of community engagement that we're really looking for. Is people are just identifying where there's need and investing in our wonderful school. So we really appreciate the volunteer. All right, Charisma.
Hi, everybody. Hi, family. So, this amazing group is open. If you don't necessarily need to have a child that has an IEP, but if you have questions about where your child may be leaning into or concerns or questions, this is an amazing support group. We support all our families, and it's great to have that support team. Maybe you don't have that with your family outside. They're like, no, the baby's just going to get it. Just give it time. But again, we want to make sure that we're able to help you guys and maybe even work with the teachers. Like, hey, this is an idea that we can work on to connect with the children. Maybe this way might help them, because we're supposed to be a unit. We have to be a family, and it takes a village. So having this community has definitely been a village for me, and been able to even interact with other parents. I have to step out a little bit more, be more of the mayor, like they call me. But it's been a great experience. So we have our next meeting coming up. We have an activity also, so if you want to come and just basically have conversation or just questions that may need answers that you're not sure of who to go to, how to ask the question, even you just blurt it out like, I need support. I just need moral support because I don't know what I'm doing. Or if you have an IEP coming up and you just don't know the questions that you need to ask or who to go to even start that process. And it's very hard, especially now trying to use the language to even ask for one, or what to look for if your child's a little behind, if your child needs a study buddy. You just never know. You might have another parent that may be able to give you tools to help you get to where you need to go, or what's the next step. So I hope you can join us, because we're a great community that is growing, and we want to be able to be accessible to anyone. So I'm always around. If you don't see Yoko or Diana, which is also a parent that goes to PS 369. She has children in both buildings. So if there's anything you guys need, you can look for one of us or email us, and we got you. Thank you.
Thank you. Where we at? Pride Committee. Anybody on Zoom?
So Lily is our chair of the Pride Committee. There is an active WhatsApp group. As folks have been saying, we're looking to support our young people. Should I come over here? So Brooklyn Seeds hosted an LGBTQ Pride gathering in PS2HU's garden, in December. But so there is some of the conversations around how are we connecting with other schools, talking about also looking to get together and look at how we can support our young people here within the school and engage in conversations around how we can kind of just have have the conversation in order to name what we need and connect with each other. So reach out and join the group. Yeah, Yoko.
It's both for people who identify, people who have children who identify as part of the community, and also allies. So
Yes.
you don't have to identify as LGBTQIA to join the Pride Committee. It's also for people who are allies and are motivated to make a difference.
Thank you so much, Yoko.
SLT. Oh, actually, Yoko, I I didn't go to the last SLT meeting, so you want to?
All right, I'm back again. What did we talk about the last SLT? I remember we talked about our icebreaker was what our favorite karaoke song was, and yes. What we have finalized on the 4th floor, is it right? On the 4th floor, we have a gender neutral bathroom, and students have been informed about this, and then also teachers have been trained to know how to use it, how to use it in the best way possible, right? And the members of the SLT walked through the CEP, and we identified some goals, one of which was particularly interesting was around recess. So we've been doing structured recess. God, I feel like I'm being tested now. Heather's looking at me like, what do you remember? I'm like, oh God, this was a couple of weeks ago. Structured recess. There had been incidents where there had been accidents and, behavior conflicts and things like that. So we have moved to a structured recess, and we've seen a huge reduction in ORs, which is like behavior events that need to be reported. And so you might hear some of your kids saying, it's no fair, I can't do whatever I want at recess. And it's like, because kids were getting hurt and some kids were not enjoying recess. And so they're just having safe, structured fun.
Woo. I only know this because all the kids come to me and say, can you fix it? And I'm like, I don't know. So they have like these areas where they can play. Let's say some kids want to play with the ball, some want to have just a chat time, reading areas, jump rope, like just a little bit more and also for the safety of the staff, where the staff can be able to watch all the children and if there is something happening, they're able to pick it up just a little faster. So let's say John gets hit with the ball and a staff member, Miss Lisa, is over there, but she wasn't able to see it, but another child was able to grab him. Miss Lisa, Bob and John got into it with the ball. Let's fix that, or Kayla got hurt from just jumping too high. It's just more of a clean way to be able to get to it, fix the problem if there's anything like that. So that's and it's kind of needed because those kids have so much energy from sitting all day. So it just helps the staff, teachers, even the children be more comfortable and just also try out different areas because they might want to play with the ball today, but then they might want to be practicing TikTok and everything on this side. But it's just some of that. I know. I'm sorry. That's what they do they don't need the phone. They just know the dances and they have their areas. But I'm not saying necessarily that they have their phones out. But once they all get together, they're like, I learned this and I learned that. Listen, that's today's generation. So we're not gonna pretend that that's not what's happening. But it's just a lot of that and able to know that it's a less incidents, less confusion, and more able to moderate. So yes.
But to talk about the SLT, this is the school leadership team, identifying the members of the school leadership team. If there is something that you would like to bring up to admin as a kind of global, what's happening here, whether it's recess, whether it's homework, whether it's, class dojo, whether it's something else, these are the people, your representatives that can take these concerns or questions to the SLT meetings every month and, try and raise them and get answers, right? But also, we're all available for questions. So
yes,
there you go.
Do you think you'll try defying gravity?
Please repeat.
Never mind.
I've never seen Wicked. I'm not a musical theater person, so.
No, we didn't get there yet. We'll learn. We'll get there, Taylor.
All right, what's the next slide? Can I step down?
Yes,
Yes, I can.
Yep, they are.
What?
Oh, go
Let me
for
get
it.
through, let's get through a couple more. I think it's not in that order. Sorry. I created a slide. Oh, go to the next one. School supplies for all. Let me just touch on this real quick. I brought this up. Yeah, give me 2 slides. Yeah, school supplies. It's like school supplies, except it's more community-based. Um, so, so I brought this up last month. There is good momentum now. We're going to have a meeting with the PAS9 PTA president. They have this structure in their school, which is essentially the PTA buys the supplies for all children, and it comes out much cheaper. Instead of it being like $100 per kid, which is what we priced out at, it was $35 per kid. And all kids get supplies instead of just those who can afford it. So if you are into that idea, join the WhatsApp group. You can email the school supplies email address and we'll make it happen.
Saving is entirely just scale.
Yes. Yep. It's just scale.
Issues with our vendor last year, and they've been our vendor for a few years, but this year they really royally messed up, and now my faith has been broken, and I don't want to have the same thing happen again. Teachers found themselves in the second, third week of school without really essential supplies, and that to me is catastrophic because I don't want our teachers to be thinking about that in the first weeks of the year. Tried not to take all of the failure on my shoulders and realized it was their fault. But so we've been exploring, after that, we've been exploring these new options, both from an equity point of view and also from an organizational point of view, because it just didn't work in the way it needed to last year. And that's why we are making a change. But this overhaul will take work to make this. And once the train is on the tracks, it should be a really equitable and affordable system for everyone. It's just the effort of getting the train onto the tracks that's going to be tough.
A lot of volunteers.
Yeah.
Especially for sorting days.
Next slide. Literacy Committee, Carla.
Thank you. So we've been pretty busy. As everyone knows, I'm sure, the readathon is happening. Lots of minutes being logged. And some of the stats are posted on the slide. This is as of Sunday night, 76,910 minutes read. 292 students sign up. We've already surpassed last year's readathon stats, so that's pretty awesome. And 6,361 raised as of Sunday night. World Read Aloud Day was awesome. We're going to share some photos on the next slide. We had a lot of people come in and read to the kids from the DOE, the fire chief, which I missed it, but it looked awesome. There are very cute photos out there with, the fire hats. We also had a pre-loved book sale at the same time as the bake sale, and that was pretty fun. We raised $116. We're going to have another one on March 7th. This is weird because I have to read. And say hello to our new book cart, which is going to come hopefully tomorrow or Friday, and it's going to leave, it's going to stay in the lobby for a little bit so that kids can take advantage of the books, just take them home for readathon or forever. And yeah, just enjoy the books. We have a lot of books. So what we're trying to do is get, which will be the next point, and in the volunteering section, we'll want help for all those things on the slide, but also we're going through the books, and some of them are really dirty, full of coffee, and so we're trying to not use those. And we'll be replenishing the cart as it's take books out. So that should be enough for now because there's a lot of books. And then we need help with the flyering, social media, prize giving, and just encourage everybody to do the bookmark entries. Tony has received a few, I believe. 4. And then exciting, the K1 author visit was rescheduled. It was supposed to be this week, but there was a schedule conflict with the field trip, so we moved it to February 24th. And there's another author visit in the works for June. And then the next slide has some just fun pictures of Laura with the book card. And then pictures of Readathon and World Read Aloud Day. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Next slide, performing arts.
Thank you. I'm Melissa Glowski Pratt, the chair of the Performing Arts Committee. And, you know, the arts are so important to the school and such a rich part of this school and something that I think buoys our hearts during challenging times. So we're very excited to support some of the arts experiences that are coming up for the spring. So Ms. Wiley, for the first time, is doing for the first time in a while anyways, doing a big dance troupe performance in April, the 25th and 26th. Right now, it's called the Dance Troupe Performance, as far as I know. Yeah.
You need a graphic and a name.
Yeah.
Publicize.
TBD. But she needs some support. So she needs backstage support on the show days, and then they're going to have a couple of dress rehearsals in the days prior. Yeah, so Dance Troupe is a group of our young dancers in the school. Ms. Wiley curates the troupe based on student interest, students who might not have access to dance classes outside of the school day. And she's really created a community of young dancers. And so they're going to be showing work, but this is a nice opportunity to lift up their artistry in the same way that we've gotten to see the theater as well. So we're really excited to support our dancers.
Is there opportunity for people to go in now, or is it kind of the troupe is the troupe now?
That's a great question. I think if your child, this is for the upper grades, if you have a child in the upper grades who's not in the dance troupe who's interested, I would say talk to Ms. Wiley, and have your young person talk to Ms. Wiley, because I've heard word. Yeah, I've heard word that's. I know. So there's that.
And the dance troupe is after school, right? It's an after school.
It's both. So
Yeah.
the kids be going up during lunch to rehearse. Ms. Wiley has given up her lunch. The kids have given up their lunch, but then we also got really big. So now it's after school as well. So they're rehearsing on Tuesdays and Fridays after school. But yes.
Thank you. It's exciting.
And the play.
And the play. So The Little Mermaid is coming up in May. And of course, that's always a high volunteer area. We're already beginning work on the playbill and can use more helpers as we get that going. And all the things with the show, from building the sets, supporting the costumes, helping the day of, helping backstage. Many, many hands are needed and utilized to get the show going. Yeah.
Is that for the upper grades as well?
That is for the upper grades as well. Yeah, that's grades 4 and 5.
It's not dance troupe, it's from K to.
Oh, it's all the way from K as well. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
They watch it during the day, don't they?
Yeah, well, prior to us coming here, when I was doing my intel for months, I looked at PTA meetings. You guys look familiar. And I also looked at the shows, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
The
It's-
playbills alone were just,
It's no joke.
oh my
Yeah.
God, it was serious business. And
Yes.
I can't wait. Oh, yeah.
On Broadway.
I know.
You were on the YouTube channel for this?
I was, and
Shout
our
out to Anna
social
Gold.
media presence.
You just made
Why I'm
time
here.
for the part, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Make sure you're ready for your photo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a very special thing about the school. So if you are interested, reach out by email. We also have a WhatsApp chat. I don't have a button for it, but we will find you. Find me and we will find you. And we're having a meeting next month, March 14th, in this room. So please feel free to join us if you're interested. Thank you.
Great. Next slide. Oh, right, there we go. We, for the Zoom
Oh,
though.
sugar magnolia. Okay. I'm so bad at holding things at the same time.
You can flip it. Yeah.
It's professional. What? Okay.
All right.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Sophia. I was once a Brooklyn kiddo myself, so I'm very happy to be representing Go Project here in a Brooklyn public school. So a little bit about Go Project. We are an education nonprofit that provides academic and socio-emotional supports for young people from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. We typically partner with schools so that we can work with young people on the weekends. That's what we call Go School for about, I think it's like 20 to 22 Saturdays. And then if you participate during the school year, you can then join us for the summer. So our summer is our hot ticket item. We meet for about 5 weeks in lieu of like the summer school schedule. And we do the same kind of program where it's like a block of ELA, a block of math, and then we have like specials afterwards. So like if you're thinking about Summer Rising, the like summer school schedule, we sort of mimic that schedule. So like breakfast all the way to like extended day. So what Go School kind of looks like is our kids come on Saturdays. We have 4 different locations. The one that would probably make the most sense for all of you is the one at Berkeley Carroll, right on President Street. And the kids come in, we do Harambe, everyone gets to meet and sort of like rally on a Saturday. And then we have our first ELA block for an hour and a half. There's a break, and then there's a math block. And the idea is that there are max about 20 students in the classroom, but there are 4 adults. So really emphasizing that small group learning. We of course take young people with IEPs. We are very like mindful of what is on an IEP. So we do ask that families like share any kind of information that will help us better understand what kind of learner your young person is. We have social workers on staff who are working with young people based off of their behavior plans and any kind of like, you know, social emotional learning or needs that they might have, particularly on a Saturday. If you have any questions, I will definitely, I know that like you guys have been here for a while, so I can stay around and answer any, but the biggest question we always get is, and I know the answer is here, does this cost any money? Absolutely not. It is completely free. So we are very, very happy to service all of our public school youth. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is for kids who need extra help, but it doesn't have to be across the board, right? So you might have a young person who is thriving in ELA. Maybe I can relate to that, but struggling in math. And it could just be like a little bit behind and needs that extra support. And that is where Go Project works. But also if your young person is like struggling in both subjects, also works as well. Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Too many minutes. I don't know which one that was. Okay. Great, thank you.
I'll give a quick development report because Geneva has a big meeting today. We raised the money. So development is a lot of asking you for money, but we try to do it in ways that are fun. So the next big thing we have coming up is, well, we have several things coming up. One is we have a parent at our school who's a stand-up comedian, and she's putting together a show at Littlefield that's going to benefit our school. This is not for your kids. This is for grown-ups 21 and up. So, and we love for teachers, we'd love Heather for you to come. It's on a school night. Ophira Eisenberg, she's on NPR all the time. She's got a podcast called Parenting is a Joke. Yes. So she's like, I do these benefits for other schools all the time. Why haven't we done one for our school? So April 2nd, really nearby school. We're just about to get the ticket link up and then we can publicize it. So that should be really fun. I'm excited about this, very excited. And then a couple other save the dates. We're gonna do a summer camp auction. It's just an online auction for weeks or days of summer camp. So I know a lot of people are coming up with their summer camp plans now. So you might be able to get a deal for a day or week of camp. And then we have our big auction party, which is May 9th. That is also not for your kids. It is a party, get your babysitter. We do a silent auction as well as a live auction, and we have some cocktails. And last time there was like a lot of cha-cha slide with some teachers and admin and parents, and it was really, really fun. So we're gonna do it at the same place this year. basically repeat the great event. There's food, there's drinks, and there's, us asking you for your money. And then we have some fundraising partnerships. If you wanted to get tickets to the Harlem Globetrotters or the Nets or New York Children's International Film Festival, we get like a small discount on the ticket, and then usually we get like the PTA gets $5 from the ticket. Those aren't huge fundraisers, but they're fun. They're community events like Disney on Ice. A bunch of people went, they sat together, they all enjoyed the show. So that's what we have coming up. If you would like to help us with any of it, we would absolutely appreciate your help, especially for the auction. Thank you.
All right, next slide. Monica, you want me to do it? Okay, all right. Here are our numbers. We're about halfway. Well, our spending is below our earning, which is good, and we're about halfway toward our goal. There is what? Go to the next slide, actually, please. There are, yeah, this is good. There are some votes that I want to do to amend our budget, just some tweaks. But you can see what our balance is right now. Votes for the budget. We thought we may need to help Discovery kids with their permit and have them pay us back throughout the year. But as it turns out, the permit cost was sort of waived. So we can take that line out of the budget. Holiday wreaths, we actually spent $53 more than we had budgeted for. So I just want to get this approval for that, please. And bake sales, we spent more than the 300, or we're approaching the 300. But honestly, for the bake sales, I feel like we can just up it to 500, give ourselves a little bit of a buffer. That's things like juice boxes and supplies that we need for bake sales. That's
We make it back. Like the next
yeah, we make it back. We make it back for sure. So I'm gonna motion that we vote to approve these items. Anybody, I see some in favor hands, which is great. Is anybody opposed? Anybody on Zoom opposed to this? All right, we're passing it.
The motion passed.
Yeah, thank you for that. Next slide. We made it. We made it to the end. Under an hour. That's it. So any questions? We're good.
Oh.
Yes.
I just want to say that if you are biking, if you ride a bike from the east to the school, starting in March, the Bergen Bike Bus is going to be starting back up. It's Wednesday mornings. It starts all the way out at in Brownsville. Yeah, the Rockaway Avenue from Bergen all the way to Court, takes a left on 4th Avenue, and it's a great community event to bike to school with. Bikebus.nyc for more info.
That was Dustin
Bikebus.nyc.
Goldman talking about the bike bus.
I'm reading the chat, everybody. Big concern about for parents.
Joel's now reading the chat.
With kids, serious health conditions. What's the status of hiring a full-time nurse? What's the status of hiring a full-time nurse?
What's the status of hiring a full-time nurse?
We have a wonderful agency nurse that we're happy with. The kids are happy. I've talked to her. She knows how I feel about my kids. And as long as my kids are happy, then we're good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
I saw a question about after school. If we talked about it,
We dropped the link.
okay.
About the Go program?
No.
Oh,
If we talked about after school today, we didn't have a slide on it. There's no update, but we are trying to ramp up, like figuring out 2025, 2026. So join that committee, email extended day. at PS133 or reach out to me. The more hands, the more minds, the better.
I have a question. Hi, I'm on the Zoom.
Anything else?
Yes, can you hear me? I'm on Zoom. Can you guys hear
Welcome
me?
to the PTA. We don't do
Yes, Carla.
everything. We do everything.
Oh, hello?
I can hear you, but I don't think they can.
Oh, let me put it in the
It's
chat.
part joke, part not joke, but maybe I have an idea for a fundraiser. What if we ticket the people that double park in the mornings to drop off their kid as opposed to pulling into an empty spots that's perhaps not as convenient? Or we could ticket them with like $5 that our love, someone will stand outside, can stand outside, give it to them. They'll probably, whatever. Or we could sell, this is probably a terrible idea, but we could sell like a free pass for 2 months where you can double park and drop off your kid, and that is worth $250. Anyway. $10,000.
$10,000.
So we call it Kiss and Go. And what it is we had volunteers. Oh, yeah. We had volunteers from the PTA have a kiss and go to prevent that. And we had volunteers that stood outside, opened up the car door, ushered the children in so that the parent doesn't have to get out and drive right away. So we love it. And it's a kiss and go line and it's on every side. But we were in the suburbs. I didn't think that was possible in New York, but it might be. Yeah, I know. It requires someone every day, 5 days a week, or a few people. So, maybe we can mold that. Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks.
no, it's a good idea. How do we celebrate Black History Month here?
Well, the question really is, does PS 133?
How do we celebrate Black History Month?
No one.
So, here.
For third Friday, I know I have a fourth grader, so I know the fourth graders are doing a Black History Month performance as part of their third Friday event. On the 28th, yes. 3, 4,
Yeah.
5.
Okay. Grades 3, 4, and 5 are having a wax museum. They do an amazing job every year, really honoring the contribution of African Americans. So come on out on February 28th. It's for coffee chat, but anyone can come up. It's beautiful. They transform that 4th floor and that 5th floor. It's amazing to hear all the things that the children learn. Just come on out. It's great. No, so we don't. Taylor, no coffee chat. No, parents as learning partners. Yes, parents. That's what I meant. No, he's. Thank you. Mhm. Okay.
Fourth grade are actually doing performance. They're going to be singing the song that they learned and saying a piece of what they're. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. Fifth grade, I'm not too sure. I was told it's a secret, so I can't link it. Sorry. I was told it's a secret. But what we've done last year, we transformed the whole floor. We decorated, we gave all the kids their spotlight moments, their little red carpets, just so they could feel just as important and be able to embrace that culture and want to teach everyone else. And the other students get to go to each other's class and they also get to see what they have learned. Maybe they had the same person and didn't know that that was a thing. Each class has an eventer, sports, and leaders. So they all did something in that nature. And I believe each class this year picked a song to perform.
The lower grades, from what I can remember, Sonia came home with lots of songs. They did dances, so it was around more of that nature, being creative, than it was about learning specific history. Though she has her Martin Luther King Jr. books at home that she likes to read. So
Can you just give a live question in the chat? Way to,
I don't think,
audio?
yeah, I don't think we muted, but maybe.
Oh.
But somebody just wants to unmute.
Somebody's been asking, I guess, and everyone in the Zoom can hear them and we hear in the cafeteria.
Oh, okay. No, okay, yeah. So connected to the
On my audio here,
TV.
is there somebody who still had a question?
Who's connected to the TV? So I think you can, it's the speaker. So choose the board as the speaker.
Yeah, we're gonna get this.
Go to audio.
This is just my music. You don't want me on that, but I'm saying in the chat that they should say that loud. That's gonna make more.
No, sorry. The drop down arrow. Speaker.
I think the issue is hearing. I think the issue is nobody's saying it.
Maybe now they just.
Anybody want to talk?
Oh, no. Tell them that, no, up. I don't think we can do this.
We know what the question is about.
Okay, we're muting again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Move to adjourn.
sure.
All in favor?
Bye.
Thank you, Joel.
Thanks, everybody.